welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to bring back a series that I started a long time ago and I haven't really followed up with any videos. I don't know why. I was super excited to start it and then I just had all these other videos that I wanted to film and I kind of just neglected this series, but a lot of you guys were excited about it and it was my Worth the Hype series where I put products to the test that are really hyped up here on YouTube and I decide whether I think they are worth the hype or not. And as always, my opinion doesn't mean you would share the same opinion. It doesn't mean if something doesn't work for me, it won't work for you, and vice versa. So I'm just putting that disclaimer out there because I know a lot of these hyped up products are hyped up for a reason, but sometimes it's good to hear like the downsides of the products for certain people, why they didn't work for them, so that you can judge whether you think it would be a good or a not so good product for you, you know, depending maybe on your skin type, your hair type, anything like that, your makeup preferences. So I'm here to do this video again, and you can probably already tell by the title, those of you who watch my videos a lot know what my answer to this Worth the Hype is. And I'm featuring in this video, ooh, don't fall, I almost knocked everything over. And I'm featuring in this video the Lorac Pro Palettes. So I have the two original, like 1 and 2 Lorac palettes, and I have the Lorac Mega Pro palette. Now, those of you, like I said, who have been watching my tutorials and my channel since I started, you guys know I am the biggest fan of Lorac. What am I saying? I can't talk today. I'm the biggest fan of Lorac eyeshadows, their pro palettes, that is. I actually haven't tried any of their other, like, I know they have like unzipped palettes and a few different versions of palettes, and I haven't tried those, so I can't compare them to those other palettes. But I am one of those people that saw the hype on the original Lorac Pro palette when it first came out. People were hyping it up, they were saying it was even better than the Naked palettes, and I had a Naked palette at that time and I was really like happy and excited with my Naked palette, and I was like, I don't need like another Lorac, like I don't need another palette. So I kind of neglected and overlooked this Lorac palette. I didn't think it looked, you know, that exciting and that different until, you know, people were not like calming down about this palette. Everyone kept raving about it and saying, you know, ever since I got this palette, that's all I ever go back to. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should give it a try. And they're at a good price too. They're $42, which for a higher end brand of eyeshadows, you get, I think, 16 in here. Yeah, 16. That is a really, really good price. Most of the Naked palettes are, you know, more in the $55 to $60 range depending where you live. So I thought, you know, I'll give it a shot. And that was the best decision I think I've ever made in terms of my eyeshadow and makeup like preferences. Ever since I bought this eyeshadow palette, all my other palettes get neglected. I reach for these palettes more than any of my other palettes. Now, I find other palettes really pretty and really good as well. I'm not bashing any other eyeshadow palettes, and I still go out and buy the newest palettes just to see what all the hype is about and to see if I like them. But to be honest with you, nothing has been able to come close to competing with my Lorac palettes. I love other products for different reasons, for different events and things like that, but just in general, these palettes are my all-time favorite eyeshadow palettes, which is saying a lot because if any of you guys have seen my eyeshadow palette collection, I do have quite a few eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow is my favorite part of makeup, but these literally are everything to me. They really, they are just the best out there in my opinion. I haven't tried super high-end makeup. I don't have any like Dior quads, Chanel. I actually have one Chanel quad, pretty good, I like it, but in terms of like larger palettes, I have, you know, Too Faced, Tarte, the Naked palettes, things like that, and they're all very good. This is not to say those companies aren't doing a good job with their eyeshadows, but for some reason these palettes are just so pigmented, so blendable. They just have it all, and they're like, you get in each of the 16 eyeshadow palettes, you get 8 mattes and 8 shimmers, so there's a good variety. I think they really know what they're doing with their eyeshadow palettes. So in my opinion, these palettes are definitely worth the hype. Like I said, they're blendable. They are the most pigmented shadows I own, but without giving too much fallout. Just because they come in a palette form does not mean the quality is compromised. If anything, the quality is impeccable on these. And if you're trying to decide which one to get, this was limited edition. Now, This thing I paid a lot for to get my hands on, and I do not regret it because it's amazing. You have every color you could want in this palette, and the quality, like I said, is not compromised. It's just as great. This palette has like basically these the size of these two combined. There are 32 shadows in total in this, and it's really, really worth the hype, but I don't think you can still get your hands on this. If they re-release a limited edition palette at Christmas time similar to this, definitely get your hands on it, because if it's anything like this, you will love it, I guarantee. But since you can't get that anymore, if you're hesitating between the 1 and the 2, both are equally as good. Do I prefer one to the other? This was my original love. This is what made me fall in love with the brand and the shadows, and it's what made me buy this one because I loved this one so much. But once they released this one and I got this one, I have to say I think I like this one just a little bit more. And the only reason for that is because this palette is a lot cooler toned than the original, not Naked one, Lorac Pro 1. If I hold them side by side, you can kind of see that this is a lot warmer and this is a lot cooler. And I just tend to prefer cooler toned shadows. So I kind of like this one and tend to reach for it just a little bit more, but the quality on both are identical. They're just as good. It just depends if you prefer warm or cool shadows. If you love eyeshadows as much as I do, I would say that having both is not too much. You will use both. I do reach for both depending if I want a warmer or a cooler toned look. There are cool and warm in both, so there is a good variety of that as well. But the palette in its entirety, the one tends to be more warm and the 2 tends to be more cool. So if you're obsessed with eyeshadow, I say you're going to probably want both. But if you are not a crazy eyeshadow person like I am, and you just want like a great palette that you know, a tried and true trusty palette that you will love and get a lot of use out of for any special events or anytime you want to use eyeshadow, I would definitely recommend going for one of the 2, and whichever one you pick depends on your own personal preference. So overall, are they worth the hype? I say absolutely. I have not found really any downside to these shadows. I mean, they can have a little bit of fallout because they're so pigmented, but not much. Truly, I do not have any complaints, which, I mean, in makeup, you can always find something that you can be like, oh, this could be improved, but these, they have figured it out. They're doing something right. Congratulations, Lorac. If you want to release more Lorac Pro palettes, I will definitely purchase them. Ulta recently, they carry now, I think just online or something, their Lorac Pro Contour Kit, which I'm all about contouring recently, and I really, really want to get my hands on it. So maybe I'll get that in the future. Let me know if you guys, are interested in that, and if any of you have tried it, let me know what you guys think, because I have a lot of contour palettes now, and I don't know if it's worth getting another one, but that's what I thought about this palette, and I ended up being obsessed with it, and it completely changed my eyeshadow life. So I might have to just give in and give those a try. If they're anything like these, the Lorac Pro line is on point. So if you guys want, some, I mean, definitely, swatch them, play with them in store before you purchase them, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Definitely not. And I know these can be a little bit hard to get if you're outside of the US, because I had the same issue. I was lucky enough to be able to buy them when I was in the States. If you can't get your hands on them, I'm pretty sure on Amazon you can find them. So, that would probably be your best alternative, because Sephora does not carry Lorac anymore. They used to in the past, but never, that was way before they came out with their Lorac Pro palettes. So that's just my take on the Lorac Pro family. I really hope that this helped any of you guys out who are still debating. I know that this is kind of like an old, hyped up product, but they are like a cult favorite, so I figured it was never too late to film this video, and you guys know how much I love them, so I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth about what I thought of the shadows. So this was just like a rave review of me loving on these products, but hopefully it helped some of you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see next in my Worth the Hype series, definitely leave me a comment down below, and I would love to feature it. I'm trying to bring this back. Hopefully I'll do maybe 1 or 2 a month for you guys, and hopefully that'll help you guys out. I do have a request to do one on the Maybelline Baby Lips, so hopefully I will get to film that pretty soon. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that as well, because the Maybelline Baby Lips are quite hyped up, but there is, you know, mixed reviews and opinions on them. So if you want to see what I have to say, leave it in a comment down below and I will get that to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!